So what do you do when you're on the phone, you're recruiting candidates? And you ask a candidate, are you open to hearing about other things? And the candidate says, what you got? How do you respond to that? How do you respond to candidates that are short with you, that are rude to you, that just cut you off? How do you deal with that? Can you turn them around? Should you turn them around? And what exactly can you say to make a smooth segue into a recruiting call? So let's just say you call up a candidate and they say, what you got? Are you open to hearing about other things? What you got? This is what you tell them. Say, Joe, I'm not in the habit of pitching opportunities to candidates because I don't know what would be in your best interest. I have several searches that I'm working on where your background might be a fit. Let me make a suggestion. What I'd like to do is spend a few minutes with you finding out more about who you are, where you are today in your career, where you've come from, but more importantly, where you want to go in your career. And if the place that you want to get to in your career is a place that my client can take you, then I'll tell you everything about them and you can decide for yourself if you want to take a peek or not. Whatever you want to do, I'm cool with. So 3 things we're doing. First, we're taking control of the conversation. How we do that is by acting from a position of authority. Secondly, we steer them in a direction of something that benefits them. Anytime you communicate to folks, you've got to explain to them why it's a benefit for them. Third, we remove the pressure from the call. We are a pressure valve, not a pressure builder. Whatever you want to do, I'm cool with. You know that phrase, candidate control, that you probably heard when you first got in the business? Well, it doesn't exist. You can't control other people. People want to be in control of their own careers. That's fine. Let's find out what they want and help them get that. Let that intrinsic energy of that candidate be the energy that drives the whole deal forward. So let's just say you have another candidate. Are you open to hearing about things? Listen, I'm not interested. What do? Let's just say they're not exactly rude to you, but they're short. You obviously know that this is someone that is not exactly open to hearing about other things. But I've made placements with candidates where the first thing I hear from them is, I'm happy where I'm at, I'm not interested. We can take that negative response from the candidate and slowly build a real relationship with that candidate to eventually they're considering our client's opportunity. What do? I'm pretty happy where I'm at. Thanks for calling. And they're ready to get off the phone. What you want to do, you want to remove the pressure from the conversation. Say, hey, that's okay, Joe. Most of the people I talk to are happy where they are. First thing you want to do then is get away from the call. Second thing you want to do, you want to find something that you have in common with the candidate. I always like to explore where they are with their company and start from there. So you have an immediate response. How long have you been with your company? Oh, I've been here for 5 years. Oh, I'm curious, what do you like best about working there? Now we're talking about something that benefits them. 2 things you also get from this. One of them is you get a potential client lead if they're hiring folks. You know it's a good company if you have a candidate that likes working there. Secondly, we're finding out about intelligence of our industry. We're finding out more about those companies out there, that are those uniquenesses about those organizations. Is this a place where we want to recruit other candidates from? Or are most of the people that work there pretty happy there? Maybe they could become a good client. So we start with something about them. How long you worked with your company? What do you like working about? Where did you work before? Why did you leave them? And you start from there. You want to find something you have in common. You can talk about the weather. You can talk about sports. You can talk about current events. Hey, so how long have you lived in Chicago? You know, that's a fantastic city. I've never been able to recruit anybody out of that city. Why do you think that is? You've got something in common. So how are things in Chicago? What's the weather like? Oh, it's cold and snowy, but you guys like it right there, right? The weather is a good, easy thing for you to talk about. Everybody talks about the weather. If you're ever in an elevator with someone and you don't know them, start talking about the weather. It's an easy way to build an authentic relationship with a complete stranger. Because if you think about it this way, you recruiting candidates, you're calling up people that are not looking. You have to build a relationship with a complete stranger in only 6 minutes to get to the point where this complete stranger is going to tell you things that they only tell their spouse, what they hate about their boss and how much they make. So when you are candidate recruiting, if you get someone that is short, to the point, doesn't seem interested, don't give up on them. Talk about them. How long have you been with your company? See if you can find something in common, and then slowly move it to the next step in the process, which is bringing them back to the question, are you open to hearing about other things? I hope this helps. Good luck, and don't let those candidates scare you. If they sound mean and caustic, it means that they don't have a lot of buying resistance. They're putting these walls up because they know as soon as they let you in, you're going to have a lot of influence with that person.